stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. It is an international scientific organization not affiliated with any government. UPAC strives to advance chemistry, setting global standards for names, symbols, and units. The importance of having defined rules to name hydrocarbons is that if you get any letter or prefix or suffix wrong, the entire structure of the hydrocarbon changes. Some of the most common hydrocarbons are methane, ethane, and propane.
Hydrocarbons. A hydrocarbon is a molecule that is composed of only hydrogen and carbon atoms. Molecules are also traditionally a major focus of the study in organic chemistry, and its main classification based on the type of bonds involved in the structure are that the first are alkanes that contains only a single carbon bond, the second are alkenes that contain a single carbon double bond, and the alkynes contain a single carbon triple bond, and aromatics that contain benzene rings and their derivatives.
Alkanes are a class of hydrocarbons in which the atoms are connected by single bonds and they are saturated. Its general formula is CnH2n plus 2 and its hybridization is sp3. Some examples of the alkanes are methane, propane, butane, etc.
The UPAC nomenclature for alkanes is: Step 1. Choose the correct ending, if it's an alkane, an alkene, or an alkyne. Step 2. Determine the longest carbon chain and circle it. Step 3. Number each carbon in the parent chain. If you have alkyl groups, start numbering the carbons by its approach to the alkyl group. Step 4. Observe the branches. Step 5. Use prefixes of the alkyl groups. Step 6. When different alkyl groups are attached to the same carbon chain, place their names in alphabetical order. Step 7. Write the entire name. Use hyphens to separate numbers from words and commas to separate numbers.
It's a hydrocarbon that contains one or more double bonds between carbon atoms, and it's an unsaturated hydrocarbon. An alkene, it's a type of hydrocarbon that contains triple bonds, and it's also unsaturated. And an aromatic hydrocarbon, it's a hydrocarbon that contains a benzene ring inside of it. To name an alkene, you have to choose the correct ending by observing the bond. Second, you have to determine the longest carbon chain. Third, you have to number each carbon in the parent chain, starting by the carbon closest to the double bond, not the alkyl group. Fourth, you have to observe the branches. Fifth, you have If in the same alkyl groups occur more than one as a branch of the parent structure, use a prefix. Then use the number of the carbon to which each is attached to indicate its position. Sixth, you have when different alkyl groups are attached to the same parent structure, place their names in alphabetical order. And finally, write the entire name using hyphens to separate numbers from words and commas to separate numbers. Of an alkene, it's ethane. An example of an alkyne, it's ethene. And an example of an aromatic, it's the benzene.
Well, here I'm going to explain you a little bit of what are hydrocarbon derivatives. And first of all, I need to explain you or let you know what are hydrocarbons. And there are the simplest organic compounds containing only carbon and hydrogen. They can be straight chain, branch chain, or cyclic molecules. Carbon tends to form 4 bonds in a tetrahedral geometry. This is inside only hydrocarbons. Now, especially hydrocarbon derivatives are formed when there is a substitution of a functional group at one or more of these positions.